Welcome to this University of Richmond training module on knife safety. My name is Jerry Clemmer and I'm the Director of Residential Dining, and I will be hosting you through this module. The objectives of this module are to ensure that all employees have knowledge of knives and knife safety, and to prevent any injuries that may be caused by a knife. This module should last approximately 30 minutes. You use a variety of knives while accomplishing daily tasks, and used correctly, they are invaluable tools. However, the sharp blade of a knife is inherently dangerous. In this lesson, you will learn the knife basics and precautions you can take to prevent injury. A chef's knife is an extension of the most important of all culinary commodities, your hand. The knife is actually a machine, and when used properly, it is a wedge and a lever. Used as a wedge, the knife can cut heavy or dense food items such as squash. When the tip is held stationary, the heel serves as the resistance force. Mechanical advantage increases with the length of the blade. To use knives effectively, you must know the name and function of each part of the knife. The 7 parts of the knife are the tip, the spine, the bolster, the tang, the handle, the heel, and the cutting edge. Roll your mouse over the chef's knife to familiarize yourself with its parts. The tip of the knife is used for cutting small items such as shallots, onions, mushrooms, and
I'm Chef Glenn Pruden. I'm the executive chef here at the University of Richmond. You will be slicing and dicing onions also. And when we prep the onion, what we want to do, this is the root end here. You want to just nip a little bit off of the root end. You don't want to come back into the flesh of the onion too hard, because this right here will hold all the pieces together as you slice and dice. On the other end, you can go on and come back, ½ inch or so, and then preferably have a paring knife and just cut through the first layer of the onions. Then you can get it started and peel off that outer coating, the skin. Same thing when we cut the onions as the tomatoes. We want about 1/4 of an inch slice, consistent all the way across. And that's going to take a little bit of practice. But same thing with the onions. You know, we'll cut and make consistent slices. You know, that's the thing that we're looking for when we go out to eat. That's what we want to provide our clients with, are items that are consistent. For dicing, and I'll show you this, we'll cut right through the root side, and you can see how it stays attached. So then we can just take it and make slices through. You don't want to go all the way to the root. What I'm doing is leaving it attached so we're not chasing all of these pieces around. And then the same thing, it's how you hold it, and then down, and then you're going to get the nice.
The knife's back or spine should be smooth so it can be gripped between the thumb and the forefinger for controlled cutting and chopping. This is the proper way to grip a knife.
Then y'all are going to be doing some chopping and cutting up some green onions, slices and things like that, I believe. So this is more or less a lower cut. Everything I've shown you so far is a high cut, up high. This is cilantro. And so what we'll do is just take that, break it off, and the most efficient way to chop cilantro or anything leafy like this, parsley, is kind of ball it or roll it up. And I've got a good bit of the stem. Some places or people will tell you not to, but the stem is good because if it's tender, and this is tender, that you have some crunch and so forth to it along with the flavor. So this is like the rough cut, is chopped like that, and then to really chop it, hold it like that, kind of hold it the same on the tip of the knife, and then we can just rock the knife, and then that'll give us really quick chopping rather than, you know, making all that noise and everything. You know, this is the most efficient way.
The bolster is between the blade and the handle. The bolster is the full tang metal extended into the handle that gives the knife better balance. The tang is the metal that extends into the handle. In good knives, it extends all the way to the butt. It gives the knife durability, weight, and balance. Unless you're very unlucky, the part of the chef's knife you'll have the most contact with is the handle. So you'll want to make sure that it's comfortable and fits your hand. It shouldn't feel slippery or cause you to have to grip excessively hard. The last few inches of the blade are known as the heel. It is used mostly for heavy cutting tasks or when maximum leverage is needed. It is most efficient for making quick, coarse cuts and for jobs which require strength or pressure. The best chef knives are made of high-carbon stainless steel, which is very hard metal that keeps its edge for a long time and won't discolor or rust like ordinary carbon steel. The most frequently used part of the chef's knife is the center or the cutting edge. It serves well on firm or soft items, with small chops and long strokes for tiny or large types of cut.
You will be dicing tomatoes and some other things. If you have a round piece of produce, if you're dicing, take the stem out of there. If you're dicing anything and it's round like this, it's always good to take it and make a flat side. Set that aside. Now it's not going to roll. So I have something that's flat, it's easier, it's safer. Then I can take and do my 1/4 inch slices like that, lay them down, make 1/4 inch slices again, and I'm slicing away from me. And then we're always slicing away from it. You don't want to try to chop. And then you've
You will use knives to prepare food, and knife safety is paramount to preventing injury. To mitigate danger, follow these general safety tips. 1. Choose the correct knife. 2. Keep the blade sharp. 3. Use care when cutting. 4. Wash and store knives safely. And 5. If you drop a knife, do not try to catch it.
The way to hold a knife is pinch it between your thumb and forefinger on the heel, the back of the knife, and then the other 3 fingers wrap on it. This way I can control the knife. I have it, it's steady, I can turn it in and out, and I have the other fingers to guide it and so forth. If you grab it back here and we're working with something, a cucumber or a pepper that has a skin on it, and the knife isn't real sharp, when you go to cut, the knife can have a tendency to turn in your hand and come down on a finger.
Use the right knife for the job. Paring knives for paring, a chef's knife for chipping or mincing, a slicing knife for slicing, and so forth.
This is a high cut, so we're basically cutting up here and push the knife forward. When we're making our cuts, we always want to make forward cuts rather than drawing cuts. The other thing that pretty much someone new in the kitchen will do is they'll take the knife and they'll try to do just straight down cuts. This is a new knife, so it's sharp, so you saw that it cut pretty well, but as the knives get a little bit older and something that has a skin on it like this, you'll find that you really have to force it, and you have to force it.
Keep knives sharp. If the knife is sharp, it will slide easily through what you are cutting, with little force involved. If the knife is dull, you will have to force it, and if you slip, even a little, there is real danger of cutting yourself. Slicing meat will dull a good knife edge, but this does not mean the knife requires sharpening. A few light strokes on a butcher's steel will reset the edge and restore the knife's keenness. Eventually, a knife's keen edge will wear off and it must be regrounded. Do not overheat the blade, as excessive heat will draw the knife's temper and the blade will no longer hold its edge. Careful grinding with a wet grindstone is the best possible protection against overheating. A good lubricated stone can also be used when steeling fails to bring the edge back. For the Hellman Dining Center, one is located in the catering kitchen. Ask your supervisor or manager to train you before regrinding a knife. Kitchen knives demand constant inspection for efficient performance. A fine cutting edge made from the best steel and the finest manufacturer know-how will turn its edge if used on a hard surface. Never try to open a can or bottle with a knife or use a knife as a screwdriver. Do not use a knife to cut a string, bones, metal, or paper. When you are working with a knife and lay it down, do not lay it down with the blade pointing up. Place the knife away from the edge of the surface you are working on to prevent it from falling or causing injury. Always be careful and attentive when...
Ow!
Cutting gloves reduce danger and prevent cuts. Wear a cutting glove on your non-cutting hand. You are required to wear a cutting glove when cleaning a slicer. When walking through a busy kitchen with a knife in your hand, always keep the blade pointed down and carry it close to your body, preferably with your arm pointed straight to the floor.
Also, when you're walking, this is the way you grab the knife and you'll hold it down to your side and into your leg. You don't want to be walking through the kitchen with an open knife and so forth. For your safety, if you slip and fall and it's down to your side, then it's pretty much out and away from you rather than pointing. Likewise too, if you're walking towards.
When using a knife, always cut with the blade of the knife angled away from you. Always be aware where the edge of the sharp blade is pointing in relation to you. If the knife slips a bit, you do not want to be cut.
Don't pick up a knife and have a conversation with your buddy sitting there waving it and talking it and doing all of that. It's not really that safe. You know, I wouldn't want to be standing on the other side, but as you're working, people are going to come by and talk to you, either put the knife down, talk to them, or have them come back. Distractions are a huge reason that we'll have an injury in the.
Never try to hold anything while you are cutting it. This is just an accident waiting to happen. Lay the item to be cut on a cutting board or proper cutting surface when chopping, slicing, or mincing. Never cut on metal, glass, or porcelain. Keep the cutting board in place by placing a damp towel underneath it to keep it from moving around the countertop, and provide ample space for whatever task that you're doing. Hand wash knives and dry thoroughly. Never put knives into the dishwasher or drop them into a sink filled with sudsy water. Always hold a knife by its handle and never by the blade. Do not leave sharp knives loose in a drawer. It can ruin the sharp edge and be dangerous if you reach into that drawer. Store knives on a rack or in your knife bag to prevent direct contact with other knives or hard objects which dull the blade. Do not try and catch dropped knives. If you are working with or handling a knife and you drop it, step back and let it fall. Do not try to catch it. This sounds elementary, but you have an instinct to catch it, and that is dangerous.
Oops!
Okay, now it's time to take the review quiz. Take a minute to go through the quiz and answer the questions. Thank you for taking this module. Your test results will be emailed to your supervisor.